MJF loses title on AEW Dynamite. Plus, a WWE Attitude Era star makes their AEW in-ring debut. And an injured WWE star could be making a Royal Rumble return. It's all in the Cultaholic wrestling news right now. AEW World's End is just a few days away, and already the world is ending for MJF. He is no longer the ROH Tag Team Champion, along with Adam Cole. Last night, those titles were snatched from him. So, the main event of Dynamite is going to be MJF teaming with Samoa Joe to face the Devil's Masked Men. However, as the masked men are already in the ring, the innocent men are already in the ring, MJF heads to the ring, and we see Samoa Joe backstage holding his knee like Peter Griffin. He's been hurt by the Devil's Masked Men. So MJF is going alone, and he holds his own for a couple of minutes until another masked man appears from under the ring and clocks him with a lead pipe. This leads to one of the other masked men, we'll call him Alan, hitting a heat seeker onto MJF and pinning him to become new tag team champions of Ring of Honor. The Masked Men, the boyhood dream has come true for the Masked Men. After the match, a few other masked men, we'll call them Pat, Barry, Mark, and Michelangelo, all hit the ring, all start beating up on MJF, and here comes Samoa Joe hobbling to the ring with a chair to make the save. He shoos them all away, and then the devil appears on the screen, along with the words, "Pleasure doing business with you." And with that, Samoa Joe's knee magically heals, and he clatters MJF with a steel chair and lands a muscle buster on him as well. Dynamite ends with MJF no longer one of the ROH Tag Team Champions, on the ground with Samoa Joe holding the AEW title over him. We'll see you all at World's End. So that ends the Ring of Honor title reign of Adam Cole and MJF. It was a great storyline concept that brought these two together. It served no purpose for Ring of Honor, to be honest, and in the hands of the masked men, still doesn't. It was a storyline device that now seems to have been moved away from MJF. Still none the wiser as the identity of the devil, but it certainly feels like Samoa Joe is playing a sort of gun for hire. He's had his issues with the devil, but you know what? There's obviously some sort of transaction that's taken place that may see Samoa Joe, maybe with the help of the devil, become AEW World Champion at World's End on Saturday. We will find out. A few more matches were added to World's End last night on Dynamite as well. Keith Lee going to be in action, facing Swerve Strickland. Swerve accepting a challenge thrown down by Lee the other day. This is going to finally pay off the split of their tag team, which, remember that never got paid off? This might be just what does it. CJ Perry's client, Andrade El Idolo, is going to face Miro. This is after a challenge was made by Miro to his wife's client. So that will go down, as well as an 8-man tag team match. The Don Callis family welcomed Sammy Guevara back last night on Dynamite and showed a brand new portrait of Sammy with his newborn child and the Callis family all around him. Great work by Mel Coleman, by the way, on all of those pieces of art. She is an unsung hero in this angle. She's the one making all these fabulous pictures. Interviewed her on the Cultaholic podcast feed a few months ago. She's lovely, but also very evil because she's working with Don Callis. And Sammy Guevara took great exception to his baby being painted. This led to Don Callis making claims that Sammy Guevara is going to be a bad dad, and it all kicked off. Guevara pushes Don Callis. He's out of the Callis family. He gets beaten up, but it's Chris Jericho that makes the save. Jericho saving Sammy Guevara from a shoe-in. The Sex Gods reunited, and it feels so good. And it looked as if that reuniting was going to lead to a beating as the Callis family swarmed Jericho and Guevara. Lights out, lights on. There's Sting and Darby Allin. They're in the mix as well. So this all leads to an 8-man tag team match being announced. It's going to be the Callis family, Kyle Fletcher, Big Bill, Ricky Starks, and Powerhouse Hobbs taking on Sting, Darby Allin, Sammy Guevara, and Chris Jericho. 8-man tag team shenanigans, replacing what would have been Big Bill and Starks versus Jericho and Omega. Obviously, Omega taking an indefinite hiatus from AEW. So this is the match that we're having instead. Also announced for World's End, some matches for the 0 Hour pre-show. It's going to be FTW rules for the FTW title. Hook taking on Wheeler Yuta. Well, we've got a 20-man battle royal for the top contendership for the TNT title. The winner gets a TNT title match whenever, wherever. It's the Shakira rule. The TNT title on the line itself, no DQ between Christian Cage and Adam Copeland. The TBS title on the line, Julia Hart taking on Abaddon. The AEW women's title, Toni Storm defends against Rio. The finals of the AEW Continental Classic, Eddie Kingston takes on Jon Moxley. And the world title on the line, MJF versus that evil Samoa Joe. Main event of World's End. Join us later today on the channel. Myself and Adam Pacitti will be doing predictions for World's End. Plus, you'll be able to join us for live reactions to World's End and join Jack the Jobber for what happened at AEW World's End shortly afterwards as well. Also on Dynamite last night, we saw an Attitude Era star make their in-ring debut for AEW. We've talked about Scott Garland, a.k.a. Scotty 2 Hotty, working behind the scenes at AEW since the summer. Last night, he was in the ring. It was Jake Hager, Matt Menard, and the Guns teaming up to face the Acclaimed, Daddy Ass, and their mystery partner, Scott Taylor, as he was known on the Tron. So Scott comes out to his Too Cool music, which, according to Fightful Select, AEW actually owns. They say that they utilised the Too Cool music for his entrance. Those that we spoke to say it was part of the music library that AEW licensed to get access to the Hardy Boys theme. They also own the music for Hardcore Holly. So, looking forward to that big Bob Holly debut at AEW anytime now. Yes, Scotty came out to Too Cool music. Yes, Scotty did the worm. Is this going to lead to more from Scotty? I don't know. I imagine it will just be like a special attraction thing here and there. Scott, having worked with Scotty this year a couple of times, like he is genuinely in great form and he's great fun to watch as well. So I'm happy to see him getting a run out in AEW and getting to show more people exactly what he's all about. That was a nice surprise. Tell you what's good for surprises, the Royal Rumble. Yes. You're joining us, by the way, at Box Park in Wembley. Royal Rumble weekend, myself, Fraser Port, Sam Driver, we're all going to be down at Box Park in Wembley with a massive Royal Rumble watch party, and we're joined by the one and only Shockmaster, aka Typhoon, aka Fred Ottman. Toot toot, lads. Come join us at Box Park in Wembley with our fabulous friends at Hooked on Wrestling. They're putting on Royal Rumble parties up and down the country. You can find one near you online at HO Wrestling on Twitter, or come and join us at Box Park in Wembley. We're going to have a lovely night, Royal Rumble night. We could see the return of an injured star at the Rumble. Rey Mysterio was chatting on K100 with Conan and Disco Inferno. He confirmed that he has indeed undergone surgery for a torn meniscus. He revealed that he is in week 4 of a 6 to 8 week recovery period, meaning that if all goes well, he could very well be back in time for the Rumble match. What a great way to reintroduce him, to reignite that fire between him and Santos Escobar. A little moment in the Rumble, always nice. Nice little surprise, possibly by Rey Mysterio in the Rumble. He also revealed some of the steps that he has taken to keep active in the ring going forward. He said, I'm getting a personal trainer at the beginning of the year that's going to work with me so I can work on my lower body and strengthen up my hips and my quads and my legs in general. I know I'm not slowing down the older I get. I know I am slowing down the older I get, but I can make things look faster just by being in the business so long. That keeps the fans' perspective of he hasn't slowed down. I can go out there every time and pour it out. I don't know how to hold back. I know personally that I've slowed down over the years. I try to be very innovative and creative with my style, that it makes it seem that I haven't slowed down. Rey is certainly got high hopes to stick around in the wrestling for a while to come yet. and we may see him pop up at the Rumble. That could very well be a thing. Predictions for AEW World's End on the channel a little later on today. And for the latest wrestling news throughout the day, you can check out Cultaholic.com. Stay safe. Love you. Bye.